Hi everybody, and welcome back to Plane Geometry. This is still lesson 9, we'll just call it lesson 9.2. We're just finishing off the final 2 examples in this topic. So we're in the section on areas, okay? So we're now looking at more exam style questions on areas. So this question asks for several things. Firstly, it shows the end wall of a warehouse. They want us to get the area. Then they're going to say if 1 litre of paint covers an area of 12 square metres, how much paint's going to be needed with 3 coats. Then if the paint costs $23.26 for 5 litres, how much will it cost to buy the paint? Okay, so this is one of those flow-on questions. If you get one part wrong, you're going to kind of stuff up the rest, but you'll get correct from error, so you've got to be careful. So the first bit is easy. You're going to work out the area. So I'm just going to work out the area of this rectangle here, and then I'm going to add it to one of these rectangles here, because 2 of those triangles make one rectangle. Okay, so I'm going to go, it is actually 15 lots of 3, so 45 times 16 plus 15 times 6. Okay, and that's the area of that wall. And that's actually 810 square meters. So a substantial area to paint. Okay, so for part B, the paint needed. Well, you need to firstly do 810 divided by 12, because 1 litre covers 12 square meters. And then you need to times that by 3, because you want 3 coats of paint. And when you do that, you get 202.5 litres. Okay, so at that point in time, what you're going to do next is, obviously that's an answer with a decimal, but we're going to keep that in mind for the next part. So the next part says, how much will it cost to buy the paint for the wall if it costs $23.26 for 5 litres? Well, what I'm going to do is firstly figure out how many lots of 5 cans I need. Okay, so 5 litre cans needed. And to do that, I'm going to do 202.5 divided by 5 litres. And that's going to give me 40.5. Now you can't really buy 40.5, so approximately 41 cans will be needed. And then to get the cost, I'm going to do 23.26 multiplied by 41, because I need 41 of those 5 litre cans, and that's going to end up costing me $953.66 to paint this 810 square metre wall. Not too bad, not too shabby. Alrighty then, question 7. This is kind of a more extension style question. Ones that you might get in a kind of harder assessment task or towards the end of a paper. So first bit of the question says a logo is to be painted in 2 colours, red and black, and you can see them on the screen. Part A says calculate the total cost if the red paint costs $18 per square metre and the black paint is half the price of the red. And then question B says, is it cheaper or more expensive if the colours are reversed? Okay, so we're going to think about this. So there's actually quite a lot involved in this question because it's actually algebra. Okay, so the first thing I did was I worked out the area of the red bit. Okay, so the area of the red bit, if you see the side length of the square is 4x, then I did pi lots of 2x squared. So I actually realized that 4 of these quarters make one circle. So pi lots of 2x squared. So that's area of a circle, pi r squared. And when I work that out, I get 4 pi x squared, okay, because you're doing 2 squared, which is 4, pi's there, and then the x is squared. So that's the area of the red. Then I'm going to work out the area of the black. So to get the area of the black, well, I'm going to do the whole square, which is 4x all squared, take away the red bit. Okay, and if I expand that out, that's 16x squared minus 4 pi x squared. Okay, so that's the area of the black. And both of those are units squared because they're area. Nice, okay. So the total area then, is going to be 4 pi x squared plus 16x squared minus 4 pi x squared. And what you notice is those cancel, and you're left with 16x squared for the total area. So that's the first thing to think about. Okay, so for part A, calculate the total cost if the red paint costs $18 square meter. So you're just going to do $18 times 4 pi x squared. So essentially doing 18 times 4, and that's 72 pi x squared. So this involves a lot of algebra. You can't just get a number answer there. And then the cost of the black, so that was for the red. And the black cost, well, that's going to be, because it says it's half the price of the red, so it's going to be $9 a square meter. So you're going to have $9 times 16x squared minus 4 pi x squared. And when you expand that, you get 144x squared minus 36 pi x squared. So then you want the total cost. So we're not up to B yet. So to get the total cost, you're going to add those two things together. So you're going to have 144x squared minus 36 pi x squared plus 72 pi x squared. And when you collect these like terms here, minus 36 pi x squared plus 72 pi x squared, you get 144x squared plus 36 pi x squared. That can be factorized to 36x squared dollars outside of 4 plus pi. So that's the final cost. That's the end of part A. Okay. Now, part B asks you to say, is it cheaper if the colors get swapped? Okay, so if the colors get swapped, what we're thinking so if the colors get swapped, then the red cost is actually going to be $9 times 4 pi x squared, which is actually 36 pi x squared dollars. And the black is going to cost, sorry, that's confusing having that there. So the black's going to end up costing $18 outside of 16x squared minus 4 pi x squared. and that's going to equal to 288 x squared minus 72 pi x squared. So the total cost when you add them two together, I don't have space for the working here, so you guys do that in your book, but you get 36x squared 8 minus pi units. And, oh no, there's a cost, sorry, so there's no units there. So that amount is in dollars. So that's the total cost. So your question is that cheaper than the total cost that you got up here? So which one of those two is cheaper? Okay, and if you look at it, you've either got 4 plus pi or 8 minus pi. So remember, pi is a number, 3.1415, etc. So is 4 plus 3, which is 7, bigger than 8 minus 3, which is 5? No, so I think that therefore the swapped costs are cheaper. Okay, so you need to kind of tidy this up in your book and write down a clear explanation. So it's cheaper if the colors are swapped. Okay, so therefore it's cheaper if the colors are swapped. Fantastic. Thanks guys for going through those videos. There's a lot of work there. Please make sure that you do go through it, that you do try the exercises and the homework, mark it. Go through and fill out the self-assessment that's following on. If you have any questions, please write them down and bring them back to class. Just a reminder that on the Connect page are all the videos to the YouTube links. Make sure that you are clicking high definition, 720p at least, or 480p, see how you go. Also, you might need to turn the sound up on some of them to hear my voice clearly, but usually it does pan out okay. And finally, there is a Geometry Reasons booklet on Connect that will help you know how to write your reasons out, but I've modeled most of it in the topic, okay? Thanks guys, and a reminder, we're going to be having topic tests on quadratic function and this topic as well when we get back to school. So go through it, see how you go, have a bit of revision, do the test yourselves and stuff like that. Fantastic guys, and happy Easter.